Remember my previous video on unbound telesis? Of course you do. I'm a huge influencer, and now that I have 100 subscribers, I can just assume everyone knows everything about every single piece of media I ever created. But yeah, just as a quick recap, unbound telesis, which is the canvas of reality, can be thought of as the overlap of all systems of logic, possible and impossible alike, which begs the question, why is the reality with this particular set of rules the one that I currently find myself in? Well, my boy Chris Langan, who came up with the concept of unbound telesis to begin with, would explain that all the possible combinations of metaphysical rules continuously duke it out in a never-ending battle royale to secure the sweet victory royale that is existence in your perceivable reality. But since he's a boomer, he would probably use terms like Darwinian evolution but applied to metaphysical frameworks and rule sets, instead of appealing to the apathetic consumers with memes that are as ontologically empty as my soul is. Am I right, Zoomers? Oh, and a quick side note, while not entirely the same thing, both the concept of Morphic Resonance and the Akashic Records are very strictly related to what I'm talking about in this video. Okay, so now that the cringy pandering is out of the way, let's actually talk about harmonic resonance and how it relates to unbound telesis. By using metaphors, of course, because it's way easier both to explain and to understand. So, think about someone streaming a video game where every single piece of the code is constantly being voted on and changed by the audience. This game can morph from Minecraft to Tetris with enough changes applied to it, then back to Minecraft, then to Super Mario. But the voting is a lot less straightforward than the rule changes are, because instead of the viewers deciding what to change into what, the game actually does that automatically through harmonic resonance. And this is where the analogy stops making sense, so I'll just tell you that the game I was talking about is actually your reality and that you're both the streamer and the viewers. So harmonic resonance, which was the voting in the analogy, is basically like whatever rule is better than the others at sustaining and reproducing itself is gonna stay in reality for longer. That's why it's called resonance. It's like an endless orgy of synergistic characteristics between ontologically separate concepts. But I've been talking for like a minute now, and I still feel like I didn't get my point across, so...
Every crystal, as it crystallizes, tunes in to the way that previous crystals of the same chemical crystallized in the past. So there's a kind of memory given by morphic resonance in all kinds of things.
I'm just gonna get there real quick. Harmonic resonance is based on the concept of crystallization of behaviors, which in turn is based on repetition. So, you know how when you do something for the first time, you're super bad at it, but after you practice for a while, you become better at it? That right there is crystallization of behavior done through repetition. So what I'm getting at is that physical reality and the rules that govern it both arise out of crystallization of behaviors applied to logical frameworks, and not the other way around, which means that reality is actually the Nash equilibrium of the expectations of all the viewers, but we are stuck in a local minimum that was good enough to keep itself from changing by making all the viewers think that it couldn't be changed to begin with. And now I feel like my words have gone abstract enough that no one has any idea what I'm talking about anymore, so let's go for one last analogy and dial it back a little. What is the difference between discipline and motivation? Well, with discipline you do something consistently, no matter if you feel like doing it or not. You do it time and time again and get better and better at it. With motivation, you get a very strong drive to do something, then it goes away as quickly and unexplainably as it came. Now, which one of those two processes would you say is better at crystallizing a particular behavior? Well, it's discipline, of course, but why is it then that motivation is so much more captivating than discipline? So much so that there's entire communities of procrastinators dedicated to getting motivated. It's still because of harmonic resonance and repetition, counterintuitively enough. So, I think you'll find that the deeper you dig down into the rules that make reality up, the more you'll see how opposites are the same thing. Ontologically, it doesn't matter if you're saying something positive or negative about a concept, because whatever you're saying, you're still pointing to it and therefore increasing its harmonic resonance. No, but really though, think for a second about the implications of reality just being a Bayesian Nash equilibrium of what you and everyone else expects it to be. Controlling the lens that makes up the narrative really is the ultimate form of power, not just politically speaking, but metaphysically as well. Basically, everything is a false dichotomy no matter what, so deciding what the two options of the false dichotomy are going to be is the most effective way to control the narrative. And I hate to close out every video like this, but the Illuminati clearly know about this, so I can only call them out ironically, because doing so unironically would be crazy. Alright, I'm out.